Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are finally back with the course material for English section. And in this video we will discuss in detail how to approach the English section of any exam, how to ace it, and how to be a pro, or how to be in and how to be unbeatable in any of the English exams, how to save your time in English section, and how to, increase your time for other sections. So I think that this video will be really helpful for any of the aspirants preparing for any exam, be it that, CAT, CSAT, CMAT, even for, let's say, we can say even for GMAT as well. Other than that, IIFT, MICA, or any exam that whichever you are preparing, you should be 100% sure that this video is really going to help you. And we have launched this course of covering the English section in 20 to 25 minutes, completely free for you people. And this video is has been made in collaboration with and in understanding of many people, many professors or teachers with whom I have been working with. And we have collated a material, we have collated a document, or we can say a strategy for you all. And I hope that this video will help you in its true meaning. Okay, so just beginning with the very first step. Okay, so I'd also like you people to know that we will be covering from everything from head to toe of RCs in this video, how to prepare RCs, what material to what material to refer to for. Will it be paid material or unpaid? If you want to refer to free or unpaid material, then you can get an idea from this video itself. Other than that, in this video, we will be covering how to approach or how to, solve an RC, how to solve the questions related to an RC. Also, we will be covering how to inculcate a reading habit within yourself, and how to, just imbibe in yourself a reader, how to be an avid reader, how to, because I think reading is a virtue that everybody should have with themselves. So we will specifically tell you what material to read for the purpose of exam, what material to read for the purpose of leisure. I think reading for leisure is also very important, but if you are an aspirant, I think that you do not have a lot of time for reading for leisure. So we will be covering everything, mainly but only focused mostly on exams. So other than that, we will also be covering the types of questions that comes for various RCs, and the type of question that and the different type of RCs that are there. So I think that without wasting any time, we should just begin with the course, and I will just share my screen with you people. Give me a second. Okay. So yeah. Begin. So this is the course that we have prepared. This is the PPT basically that I have compiled for you people. And so as I was saying, that this video or this course will cover reading comprehension and English section solving for each and every kind of exam which is present in the world. Okay, so first and the foremost thing is inculcating a good reading habit, how to be a good reader in your daily life. So when we are targeting, or when we are, preparing or aiming to crack an exam, we force ourselves to read something, and maybe at times we are not able to comprehend it, completely in its true meaning, in its true form. But if we have a reading habit, then what happens is that reading comes naturally to us, and we can understand and we can comprehend the topic or the article in its true meaning every day. We are reading every day. We are so when we are then reading, or when we are solving in an exam, it is not very difficult for us. It becomes easier. It becomes smoother. The journey becomes smoother. So I think that reading habit is a very important habit that everybody should have. Now, moving on to now we have here on the screen, we can see that there are some very good source of reading that I could find, and quality source of reading that I could find from the internet that I also prefer reading at times. So for news, I prefer 2 to 3 newspapers, that is the Hindu, the Indian Express, or the Economic Times, mostly for finance or economic topics. And for world politics or for world news, I prefer the Telegraph, the Washington Post, and all these other source materials. So what happens that there is a diversified view that we get from everywhere. We are not restricted to one view or one side of the view. So these are really good digital platforms that I think should help you in reading, in inculcating a reading habit. Moving ahead. So the first very important thing before starting preparation for any exam should be your reading material, your course material. So for this course material, I have compiled a list of materials that is relevant for you. So now we have 2 types of materials. We have paid materials, we have unpaid materials. So for solving RCs, you can get paid materials, you can get free material as well. Now in paid materials, you can see that the very popular book of Arun Sharma and Meenakshi Upadhyay ma'am, they have a comprehensive book of RC and verbal ability as well. So from their coaching, that is the MindWorks coaching that they have. Now, even I had their preparation material, and I used to solve a lot of passages from their book itself. Now, second material that you can get is from Cracku, Time, IMS, Careerlauncher, and all these other coaching institutes. Now, it's not very necessary that you take a course material, but you can take a course material. But I think that if you want to really, okay, you can take course material, of course, but I personally prefer test series and not reading or course material. But if you have to understand everything from the scratch, from the basics, then of course you can go for, their fundamental or basics classes and everything. So these are the paid materials for you, and these are the under that is the free material for you. So in the free material, you can see in reading comprehension, there is a lot of free material available just for your solving, your reading, and your, practicing. So you can see bodhiprep.com. Then there is one site that is there that has a particular document that has a lot of RCs. Then there's wordpundit.com. So these links have various difficulty levels of these CAT 2021 RCs, 2022 RCs, 2019, 18 RCs. This RCs on business and economics, RCs on science and technology, philosophy and humanities, art, literary and criticism. So you just name it and you just have it for free on these sites. This is the Bodhi Tree Prep site, and you can see that you can just go to the site and solve as many RCs as you want. So I think this is completely free, and you do not have to pay even a single penny for material on this site. Now the second is there is a document that, and all these links and documents I will link in the description box below. Do not worry for that. Also, we have a Telegram channel where we share the material, preparation material, links and everything related to exams. So we will be sharing the links related to this course also that we have launched, and you can find all these material there as well. You can join the Telegram channel. It is completely free from the link below. Let's move ahead to strategy for solving RCs. So there are two. Let's just bifurcate the RCs into two types of RCs, that is long and short RC. I like to approach the RC like only with these two differentiations, a long and a short one. A long RC is basically has 5 to 6 paragraphs, and long paragraphs that too. And short RCs have 2 to 3 paras or maximum 4. But a long RC is 5 to 6 or more paragraphs. Okay, so let's see for if we have a long RC, how to track that. So if we have a long RC, we can go through the RC, we can glance at the RC from a bird's eye view. We can know the keyword for the RCs, and we can note the keyword from each para. If you see the keyword, okay, we have to just glance it through a bird's eye view. Now we can, after glancing it, we have to read the question that is question in the para, okay, questions that are put up. Now, if you recall, or if you have noted the keyword, you can just check if that keyword is present in your question, and then you can refer to that paragraph and you can just solve it. So this is one way of solving. Now from strategy 2, okay, so what happens that if sometimes something comes where you just know the answer, you just look at the question and just know the answer, because that that is really obvious. So you just read the question. If the para is a moral values para and you have to solve ethically, you have to think ethically, it is a technological based para, and you just know everything about the technology. Sometimes it happens. So you just read the question, you get the answer, you verify it from the paragraph. You verify the particular, let's say the technology that it is asking is machine learning. Now you know everything about machine learning, what machine learning does. You just go to the paragraph, you check. Let's say the first question was, how has the author defined machine learning? Now you know it, that machine learning is something that you teach to a machine and the machine does for you, makes your job easier, and blah blah blah. And other options are not related or not relevant to that. You do not need to read the whole para. You just go to the para, you just verify it, and you are done. All of your time is saved, I think, here. Now, yeah. So, but first, it is very important to identify that can you solve it? Okay, you cannot. Okay. Also, sometimes the para is a negation. Para is a sarcasm. So you have to identify the theme also of the paragraph. Questions related to the themes of paragraph is also asked. The question related to tone of author is also asked. Question related to what is the course of action that the author or some person should take after the end of this paragraph. So you have to think accordingly, according to the situation, and answer that. Now, a very important part is critical reasoning. Now, in critical reasoning, sometimes the questions are asked in negation, that if this was not true and if this was true, what will you do? Okay, so it's very important to identify what you can solve and what you can't solve. Now, but it's not worth it to take that risk if you do not know or you do not understand the question completely. If it is an inference-based question, obviously, if you have, if it is an inference-based question, if it has asked that what does the conclusion of the para say, you just read the concluding remarks and you answer. But if the question is a negation, if it is a lot of critical reasoning involved, you can opt or you can choose to leave that question. It's not important to solve the whole RC. Sometimes some people read the whole RC. After reading the whole RC, they feel like their time is now wasted and they are obliged to solve each and every question related to that RC. No, not at all. You can maybe after reading the whole paragraph, you understand the RC, or you just completely don't understand the RC, and you're not obliged to solve questions only of that RC. You read the questions. If you can solve one or two questions out of it, it's good. You just leave it. You do not attach yourself emotionally to that RC. You move on from it. You move on to the next RC now. Now, when you go to the next RC, maybe that is easier, that you can just complete in 2 to 3 minutes and everything is now balanced. You do not have to worry or, take any pressure about the first or the earlier RC that you were reading and you couldn't solve. So also, it's very important that you identify if you are able to comprehend the RC or not. And other than reading the RC, keeping on going reading the RC for 5 to 7 minutes and just completely wasting your time. Now, the second kind of RC that exists is the poem RC. Now, poem RC is very interesting RC, I think, and it is one of my favorite sections as well, because I loved reading poems from the very beginning of from my school days itself. So I am able to comprehend the poem very easily, and I just love reading poems. For the love of poem, I'm just sharing this reading comprehension strategy with you. So you see, there are a few types of questions that come in the poem RCs. So that questions are related to literary devices. It is related to the theme of the paragraph. It is related to the tone of the author. It is related to the rhyme scheme of the, rhyme scheme of the poem, and that's it. And also keywords. Okay, keywords is very important. I'll be discussing later. Now, theme of the poem and theme of the para both are a similar thing. Both are similar things. Theme of paras, poems, if you can comprehend, it's very easy. Okay, so see, there are some links that I have, shared here, that about literary devices. Literary devices are nothing but the strategy that a poet has used to write a poem. Okay, so it's very, let's just visit the link and study things related to the literary device. Okay, so we can see from here, this is a very good link. I should say, that's why I have attached this link to you people. You can refer to other links as well. Okay, so there are some literary devices that are available. You should completely know before going or sitting in an exam that has poem RCs. There is alliteration, there's hyperbole, imagery, metaphor, simile, irony, oxymoron, onomatopoeia, personification. So these are literary devices that a poet uses. Now, let's say alliteration, hyperbole, then there is imagery, metaphor. Okay, so alliteration, you can read everything from here, whatever you want, and alliteration is nothing but it is for an example, I would just say, holding a unique universe undone by you. It is the repetition of a word, a syllable, a consonant, a sound. Now, alliteration is very, I think it is, it is used to stress a consonant, okay? Consonant sound in a poem. So alliteration, I think alliteration is very, very playful. I think it's a very playful literary device, and I really like it in some of the poems. So maybe I will share you the examples of alliteration in other poems as well. Alliteration examples, you can see. Yeah, so Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So you can see that the consonant sound of P is being repeatedly used here. I saw a saw that could outsaw any other saw I ever saw. Examples in poems. If you see for specific poems, so burning bright and frame and fearful symmetry. So, all these poems are, the epitome of usage of alliteration. Uh, so here the words weak and weary, I nodded nearly napping. So N sound here is being stressed. The weak and weary W consonant sound is being stressed here. So wherever you identify that particular sound is being stressed, here so you can say that alliteration has been used. And this gaunt gray gallery, and you see how playful this is. I really like this alliteration literary device. Sweeter piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. It's so playful. It just gives a sense of playfulness to your tongue. So you can see the Betty bought some better butter wala poem also is the same literary device that is used. Alliteration is used here. Uh, Maybe you people can recite this one for me and tell me if you know how to recite this. I had learned that in childhood. I also know right now, but it will not be very pleasant for me to say that again here. Okay. So okay. So moving ahead to next literary device. Yeah. No, not this. Yeah. Okay. So hyperbole. Now, hyperbole is a lot of exaggeration. Okay. So it is a exaggerated statement that we can stress to say that something is very strong. Okay. So I was so cold. I saw polar bears dancing in the night sky. Okay, this is not at all come true. This is only something that one uses to show, a great amount of something. Okay, to exaggerate something. So the poem of, if you remember, hyperbole. If you remember the poem where the boy turns into a balloon. Okay, hyperbole in poetry. Uh, Hyperbole example in poem. So there are a lot of examples in hyperbole. So you can say, I wandered out one evening. I wandered lonely as a cloud. This is a poem. This is a statement or a line in the Daffodils poem. His coy mistress. So all these things. So that poem was really nice, where they say that the boy completely turns into a balloon and starts flying and flying. Okay, so nobody does that. It doesn't happen, and but the poet just uses it to show a great extent of something. It's used in really funny way. Okay, it does it maybe in a funny way, or to boast about something. Okay, so this poem that I was talking about, that I wandered lonely as a cloud. So here continues as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000s I saw at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So the poem is talking about, the author who was, who was just strolling on in a winter evening or something, and was seeing the a meadow, and of sorry was seeing a garden of daffodils. Okay, so now the daffodils here, now it is referring to the daffodils as continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. So it is just exaggerating that to a lot to a great extent. Okay, so the daffodils are not Milky Way, and the Milky Way cannot be compared to daffodils, but the author has exaggerated a lot here. Okay. uh, okay, so this one also, my heart beats for you. 1,000 stampeding bison thundering around along across the plains couldn't drown the sound of my heart beating for you. Rhythm feeds the greatest symphony ever known to men. Yet such life transforming love is experienced by few. Okay, so for all the lovers, all the ladies out there, where boys, just exaggerate their feelings for you. This is one of those poems. So just do not get swayed by those feelings. That is where the person might be using hyperbole for you. Okay. Now this is hyperbole. Imagery is a poetic device where the poet, uh, just creates an image in your eyes, tries to uh, you know just narrate to you through that image how the person feels at that point of time. Okay, so here the poet tries to use a metaphor or a simile to create an image and tell you that what it is like. Okay, so in simile, what the poet does is that it uses words like, it uses words like uh, you know like words, as, similar, and all these words. So wherever you find the words like or similar to, uh, as as strong as beautiful as, so these words just indicate that it is a simile. Metaphor is something where the poet, yes, compares or shows a similarity, but the words like, as, similar to, or like are not used. Okay, so this is the whole point of metaphor. This All of this creates an imagery in a person's mind, and on creating an imagery, this becomes a metaphor or simile. Now irony is a very good literary device where the the poem tries to establish a contradiction of ideas. Okay, so for example, you can see that a fire station burns down. Now a fire station, something that is meant to wipe out or shut off the fire, has broken down or burned down itself. Now it's an irony that the fire station burns. Now oxymoron. Okay, so oxymoron is also something like completely opposite words, the usage of completely opposite words, and but still they are used for the same thing. Okay, they are meeting at a conjunction point and they are meaning the same, but they are completely, they mean literally they mean completely opposite, but they are used for the same thing. Now this is very very good example, literary device. I think it is one of my favorites as well, in poem. Okay. So you can see that the words like awfully good, bittersweet, same difference, original copy, these things just give a hint of oxymoron. uh, so today's times also, we are so addicted to speaking words, the F word, that we just forget that using it in something ecstatic is like an oxymoron. Okay, so we are not getting a good example here, but you can say some things, you can say foolish, uh, foolish, foolishly wisdom, foolish wisdom. It is my only choice. Okay, so choice. How can be? How can there be choice that is only? Okay, original copy. Okay, these words like these, small crowd, the walking dead, these things are oxymorons. So if you find something in a poem, so you can just clearly straight away tell that this is an oxymoron used here. There is onomatopoeia, there is personification. Okay, so onomatopoeia is TikTok or TikTok on the clock. That is a song, but words like these are called onomatopoeia. Okay. Examples. It is basically used to create a sound effect. Okay, how they clang and clash and roar by the twanging and the clanging, jangling, wrangling. See, there was a rustling that seemed like bustling, and the very famous poem, The Brook, also uses onomatopoeia, I believe. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what happens inside sometimes. Okay, so The Brook you can read for yourself. So we will not discuss more on that. So onomatopoeia is basically used to create an effect of sound. Okay. You can see it hushes, it sushes. Uh, okay, crashes and raises, knees and snorts. So drip, drop, ping, ting, pitter, patter. All these things that is creating a sound effect. Water plops into ponds, splish, splash, downhill. Storm, pitter, pitter, patter. Then brook flows, sara, sara, toro, toro. So all these things are basically using onomatopoeia. It's very beautiful. Okay. Another and the very important one is personification, where the author, relates something, anything or everything in the world to a person. It The sky wept tears all night. Okay, so the sky can't weep. The sky does not have eyes to weep or weep tears, but it has compared it it has completely personified it. The author has completely personified it, and now you can see that the sky is weeping. Okay, so personification is is just attaching anything in the world to the person's quality, the person's whatever a person does, by showing action or by showing qualities of a person. Okay, so we give human-like abilities to an object. Okay, so non-living things are related to humans. So these were the poetic devices, and there are some other as well. The allusion, there is an understatement, you know, all the other things. There is also some solved or unsolved examples here. If you want to, you can solve. Now, this other thing is rhyme scheme. Now, what is rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme is something that you can say that it is it is depicted in the form of A B A A B. That is how the poem is rhyming. So, like in this poem, you can see that then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. though as for that passing there had warned them really about the same. Now here fair, where, there, claim and say. So fair, where, there. Now you can see this is let's say that this is a sound A. This is claim is sound B. Then the repetition of sound A, the repetition of sound A, then the repetition of sound B. So the scheme becomes A B A A B. Okay. So we have to give a variable to a sound. Then we have to depict the sound by the variable, the sound of each line, the ending sound. That is the rhyme scheme of any poem. And these are the basic or the basic questions that come for the poem RCs. The theme of the para or literary devices. Now the theme of the poem and the tone of the author. These are two important topics as well. The theme of the poem is a very vast concept. Okay, now the theme is not only of the poem but also of the passages that you have. Now you see this is a link here. You can go to this link and see what different types of themes of poems exist. Okay, so I have opened this link for 100 times, I think. Yeah, so you can see was this not there was a very good link here. Okay, okay. So theme is of the poem and passage both. Okay, and theme and tone are different in different ways. Now, theme is only something that depicts what the theme is, what the passage or the poem is trying to say. Okay, as a whole. Okay, and tone of the author means that uh, what how is the author presenting that theme. Okay, now theme is the lesson about life or statement about human nature that the poem expresses. It can be of a revolutionary theme, it can be a romance, political, life. There it can be a narration of anything, it can be an autobiography, it can be a biography, it can be a research. The theme of the para can be the research, a scientific research, or anything. But as a whole, we are completely talking about it as a whole. Okay, so this is the theme of the RC and passage or the poem. And the tone of the author is another thing, a question that comes. So you can see in this link, you can find the tone of the author, how to identify the tone of the author. And there can be a lot of tones of the author. Okay, so the tone of the author can be sarcastic, it can be gloomy, it can be admiring, aggressive. You can see here there are a lot of adjectives you can use. Critical, it can be decisive, it can be what do you say, contradicting, it can be humble, critical, impassioned, ironic. The theme can be ironic as well. The theme can be intense, inspirational, and many adjectives you can use here for the tone of the uh, author. Okay, satirical is a very theme that comes in RCs of CAT and any other exam. Satirical or sarcastic. Okay. Okay, so skeptical is also a very good theme. Skeptical themes comes and it is very difficult to identify if the theme is skeptical or not. Okay, so you have to read everything that how you can identify that if the theme is skeptical or admiring, or sometimes you can just understand from just a glance of the RC, but sometimes you have to go and dive deep into the words or the statements that the author has made. You have to find specific words of negation, words of irony, words of satire that the author might have used there. So then you can identify the tone of the author. Okay. Now what are we discussing? So this is all about the tone of the author. There can be laudatory theme also, and other themes you can read there. Okay. Next. So the next thing is the keyword that you can use to identify the theme of the poem or the theme of the para. If it is a literary para, if it is a poetic para, sometimes the para is also poetic. So, you can identify through some keywords that I have, bifurcated here. So you can see that the gloomy words are there. Then there are happy words that are there. Okay, there are appreciative words as well. There are critical words as well. So I have only sorted of two type of words, that is gloomy and happy, basically related or focused on poetic paras. So you can see gloomy words like night. Night is also used for gloom. It is a very known fact, I think, that night is used for gloom. You have cloudy weather, winters, cold, death, or dusk. These words, if they occur in a poem, that means the poem has a bit of negative side or a gloom theme attached to it. And you can identify the theme of the poem related to these words. Now, if you see that the poem talks about flowers, okay, so flowers that are favorites of various poets are like daffodils, sunflowers, roses. Rose basically defines love. Then there are lilies. Okay, so the various flowers, they basically tell romance, happiness, and newness, or birth, young age. They depict light, you know hope. They depict day, words like sunny, birds, ray of light, stream of water, and spring or dawn. And these keywords, these are keywords. So these words, like that I have just said, they depict happy place or happy spaces, so, or a happy theme of the poem. Okay, so these were the very basic things that you and us, everybody needed for reading comprehension. And I think that you will not need any other thing than this, and you will be really uh, happy solving any kind of RC that comes your way. Now, do not forget what we have studied or what we have discussed about inculcating the reading habit in yourself. And please do read. I will be mentioning, or I will be sharing this PPT on the Telegram channel that we have created, and I will be sharing all these links as well in the description box itself. So you can see from anywhere. Do let me know if you need a specific website also of these materials, and then we can make that available for you. Also, do let me know if we have missed anything and you have any questions related to any kind of RC. And please go solve RCs, solve as many RCs that you can, because once we have discussed the strategy, it's important to apply the strategy beforehand, before going into exam, so that you know what strategy suits you. Okay, so sometimes one strategy suits somebody and the other strategy suits somebody, and the same strategy doesn't suit the other person. So it's important to practice with each strategy first, and then the strategy which suits you, which helps you solve the reading comprehension, all the questions, all the RCs of our exam within 10 minutes. That strategy will work best for you, and you should aim to solve through that strategy only in any exam that you are giving. Okay, so this was all for the reading comprehension section. And in the next course, in the next video, we will be coming up with the verbal ability course, and how to prepare, what are the important words that one should know for various exams, and verbal ability. After the verbal ability, we will be covering various grammatical devices that you will need for your exams. Okay, so all the very best, and see you.